5:17 a.m. The Strait of Hormuz. In the world's most suffocating choke point, the U.S. Navy's billion-dollar Aegis shield just suffered a catastrophic blind spot failure. While the world slept, an Iranian saturation trap did the impossible. It put a lethal anti-ship missile just 200 meters from the hull of a U.S. destroyer. No warnings, no time to blink. This wasn't a provocation, it was a calculated execution attempt that nearly sent a superpower to the bottom of the sea. Is the era of American naval invincibility overwatched the radar? Because the nightmare is already inside the perimeter. 3 surface contacts that had been drifting at low speed snap hard to starboard and accelerate straight toward the American warship. Inside the destroyer's Combat Information Center, the radar picture locks on fast. 3 tracks bearing 031, speed climbing rapidly. The destroyer is deep inside one of the most dangerous waterways on Earth, with merchant traffic packed tight ahead and astern. To starboard, the sea lies open but exposed. To port, the Iranian coast sits low and menacing in the early morning haze. There is zero margin for error, 200 meters from a billion-dollar catastrophe. If a low-cost Iranian saturation trap can get this close to our most advanced destroyers, is the Aegis shield becoming obsolete, or are we just one blind spot away from losing a warship in the Gulf? At first, the boats look small. Then their speed jumps to 28 knots. That single number changes everything. On the bridge, the captain studies the closing geometry for 1 heartbeat, then issues the order in a voice carved from steel. Hail them once. Record everything. Maintain course. The radio operator transmits bridge to bridge. Unidentified vessels. This is United States warship in international transit. You are closing at unsafe speed. Alter a course immediately. No reply. The atmosphere and Combat Information Center shifts from routine watch to full threat management. Track numbers assigned. Bearings updated every few seconds. Estimated closest point of approach shrinks fast. Under 4 nautical miles and dropping. Electronic warfare teams log every emission. A coastal radar sweeps the destroyer again, sharper and more deliberate. Not a hard lock yet, but no longer casual. On the starboard bridge wing, a lookout calls visual contact. 3 fast craft, low profile. Armed personnel visible topside. The rising sun catches white spray exploding off their bows. These are not fishing boats or confused civilians. Their hulls are aggressive arrow-shaped, built for speed with heavy machine guns and rocket rails clearly mounted forward and amidships. The officer of the deck zooms the forward camera. The feed shows 3 Iranian fast-attack craft, weaving just enough to stay unpredictable but driving straight at the destroyer. Confirmed Iranian fast craft. Multiple armed personnel. The 5-inch gun, forward, rotates slightly off center line. Not to threaten, but to be seen. The close-in weapon system powers into standby. Missile crews stand ready. Readiness is built into every inch of steel. Another radio call goes out firmer this time. Iranian vessels, you are approaching a United States Navy ship at unsafe distance. Alter course now. Still nothing. The destroyer holds her line, wake, straight, and controlled. In Hormuz, the first side to overreact often loses the narrative, even if it wins the fight. Then the lead Iranian craft surges ahead, angling hard toward the destroyer's starboard bow. Its wake turns into a bright white knife across the water. CPA now 2.6 nautical miles. Another coastal emission flashes across the electronic warfare board, narrower and more focused. The electronic warfare officer reports we are being painted from shore. Search mode tightening. The captain watches the lead boat eat distance. The second and third craft spread wider, one holding outside the other, sliding aft, building coordinated angles. Not random harassment. This is a deliberate saturation trap designed to overwhelm the destroyer in the tight waters of Hormuz. At 5:21 local time, the lead Iranian fast craft drives straight across the destroyer's starboard bow at terrifyingly close range. Every sailor on the bridge can see the hull numbers through the spray. The wake slams under the forward shoulder. Coffee rattles in console cup holders. A lookout grips the rail. CPA 1.2 nautical miles. The second boat breaks wider to starboard, while the third slides aft, hanging off the quarter, hunting a blind spot. In 30 seconds, the geometry shifts from aggressive approach to a partial bracket. The tactical action officer reports they are building angles. The lead craft keeps charging, range 1,800 yards. 800. The 5-inch gun trains farther right. The close-in weapon system comes fully alive. Then the radio cracks with a flat Farsi accented voice. U.S. warship, you are approaching Iranian security zone. Change course south immediately. The lead boat cuts even closer as the transmission ends, buying 3 more seconds of deadly approach. On the starboard wing, a lookout freezes. Crewman on the lead craft is standing by the forward mount. Inside Combat Information Center, the electronic warfare officer stiffens. Shore radar sweep tightening. Still not fire control, but close. The captain orders launch the helo. The MH-60R Seahawk lifts in seconds, rotor blades howling across the deck. The helicopter noses low banks hard across the bow and slides into the Iranian boat's line of sight. Its gray hull flashes low over the sea, aggressive and controlled. The sensor operator locks the MX-20 camera on the lead craft. A green laser designator paints the Iranian bridge windows non-lethal, but impossible to ignore. The loud hailer booms Iranian vessel alter course now. You are operating unsafely near a United States warship. The coastal radar locked on and the rockets were fired. At what point does harassment end and active war begin? Did the U.S. Navy show incredible restraint? Or did we just give Tehran the green light to push even harder next time? The lead boat wobbles in the rotor wash. For the first time, its bow drifts slightly offline. But then, the electronic warfare officer calls the critical escalation. The lead craft is radiating now. Short-range surface search, tracking behavior, he is painting the helo. That single act crosses from theater into targeting. Harassment is one thing. Painting a United States Navy helicopter at close range is another. The captain stays ice calm. Arm-layered defense, request warning shot authority, keep the helicopter on him. The Seahawk banks tighter, laser steady, every second recorded. Below, missiles stay cold. Guns stay silent. The destroyer still holds course, but the Strait of Hormuz now feels like a trap, tightening around 200 meters from disaster. At 5:24 local time, the picture snaps into full focus. 3 Iranian fast craft off the starboard side. 1 larger contact holding north, acting as command relay. Coastal radar pulsing with disciplined rhythm. This is no freelance swarm. This is a coordinated saturation trap. 2 United States fighters check in, fast Eagles on station. The jets scream in from the south, descending fast. Their dark shapes cut across the pale sky, banking wide to own the airspace directly above the Iranian boats. The tactical action officer updates 2 fighters overhead. The captain orders, bring close-in weapon system to active track. Keep missiles cold. No one fires unless we have hostile act or confirmed launch. The close-in weapon system Aegis is servos hum, tracking logic tightens. The 5-inch gun settles on the lead boat's sector. Electronic warfare feeds countermeasure options. The first fighter flashes low enough to shake spray off the wave tops. The Seahawk holds offset laser firm. The second Iranian boat drifts offline first. The third slows, then hesitates. Only the lead craft keeps pressing. Then the shoreline changes everything. Emission spike, same coastal sector, narrower beam. Possible cueing radar preparing missile quality track. The bridge goes dead quiet. Fewer words, more focus. That is how real danger feels on a warship. The fighters come around for another pass. The Seahawk widens its orbit but stays locked. The destroyer refuses to turn away. At 5:27 local time, the line almost snaps. The lead Iranian craft surges bow, slamming through chop. A sharp flash erupts near its forward mount, a streak low over the water. White spray explodes off the destroyer's starboard beam 200 meters away, throwing mist across the bridge windows. Not a hit, but close enough that every sailor knows exactly how near disaster came. Combat Information Center erupts. Splash starboard side. Possible warning rocket. The captain shifts to full engagement posture. Weapons tight. Hold for authority. The close-in weapon system rotates hard to starboard and locks. The 5-inch gun settles directly on the lead boat. Missile crews stand one order from turning the morning into fire. The Seahawk breaks orbit, pulling wider and higher. The fighters drop altitude, owning the box completely. One jet screams across the wave tops, shaking the sea. The second Iranian boat breaks first bow, drifting offline, wake flattening. The third follows, turning out fast. The lead craft yaws violently, then snaps hard to starboard. Its wake bends into a white crescent away from the destroyer. The bracket collapses. The coastal radar still pulses, but the boats are opening distance. The captain watches the lead craft widen the gap and says only they push to the edge. Guns remain trained. Defenses stay hot. Fighters hold overhead. The Seahawk circles watching. The destroyer never turns, never slows, never surrenders a single yard of water. At 5:34 local time, the Iranian boats are retreating. Not in panic, but in clear defeat. The lead craft angles just enough to save face while the others fall away behind the starboard quarter. Closest point of approach climbs 1.8, 2.43.1. Oxygen returns to the room. The fighters remain on station. The Seahawk works back toward the ship. Coastal emissions lose intensity. The destroyer presses forward, same heading, same speed, same mission. Iran tried to spring a saturation trap 200 meters from disaster. They exposed their boats, their timing, their coastal radar support, and the exact moment their pressure turned into targeting. Every move, every emission, every dangerous second was recorded, time-stamped, and stored. The United States Navy absorbed the trap, answered with layered precision, and kept control of the Strait without firing a shot. The message is unmistakable. In the tight waters of Hormuz, Iran can push right up to the edge. But the United States Navy will not blink. Iran just exposed their entire kill chain, from coastal emitters to fast attack swarms. Was this a failed ambush or a calculated test run for a much larger coordinated strike meant to shut down the Strait of Hormuz forever? Right now, tell me in the comments. With Iran launching this saturation trap against a United States destroyer in the Strait of Hormuz, just 200 meters from disaster, do you believe Tehran is testing the limits for a larger conflict? Or has the United States Navy just proven once again that American sea power cannot be intimidated? Drop your thoughts below, because this drama is reshaping the balance in the Gulf. The boats keep fading astern. The coastal radar fades into background noise. The destroyer forges ahead through the strait. Iran came 200 meters from triggering a full naval engagement. The United States Navy survived the trap, answered with calm, overwhelming presence, and kept moving forward. That is how sea power works in the most dangerous choke point on Earth. They tried to trap an American warship. They only handed the United States another reason to stay ready. After watching Iran's fast attack craft and coastal radar nearly pull a United States destroyer into a saturation trap in Hormuz, do you think the United States should increase carrier presence in the region immediately? Or does this close call prove that American forces already have the edge they need to keep the strait open? Let your voice be heard in the comments right now. The tension in Hormuz is far from over, and the next move could ignite everything. Click subscribe now. Don't miss a single moment of this historic journey. Your time is valuable. We promise analyses as sharp as reality itself. Stay vigilant, stay informed. We'll see you in the next video. Disclaimer: This video contains content generated or supported in whole or in part by artificial intelligence. This material is intended solely for simulation illustration and entertainment purposes. It does not represent real-world events, nor does it constitute political or military advice or verified information. Certain elements may be fictional, dramatized, or inaccurate. Viewers should not rely on this video as a credible source of information or as a basis for real-world decision-making.